Ooh, what is going on, everybody? Happy Monday, if there's ever such a thing. Welcome back to the Sports Laugh and Chill Show. Your usual host and the lady that runs things, Gina, she won't be here today, but we still got a good group of people here. Obviously, your boy Jordan Watkins right here in the building. We got Unk in the building. Rod's here. Dan's here. Hope everyone's having a good one, fellas. How y'all doing today?
Just chilling, bro. Chilling. Glad to be here. Glad to be back.
Big facts. Big facts. What's up, people, tonight? We chilling.
Absolutely.
So we in the building like always. Let's get it.
There we
So,
go. Y'all. But I say y'all can hear Rod. Some of his mixes going in the background. If y'all didn't tune in last week, first off, Rod, shout out to you. I had to tune in a couple of times with you running one of your mixes on Twitter. So y'all, whenever he drops those, y'all have to take a listen because Rod be doing his things on the one and two. So Rod, shout out to you for that.
yeah.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lon, let's get into it. Obviously, the title of this show is Fighting and Winning. And first and foremost, in the literal term of fighting, big fight that happened this weekend. Well, there was a couple of them, whether it's in boxing and UFC. We're going to start off in the boxing world. And Marcus, if you are watching, my apologies. This might be a spoiler because I know your Wi-Fi. You might not see who won the fight yet. But big boxing match that went down between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Now, obviously, I'm not the boxing guru or boxing expertise in this, so I'm gonna let y'all fire away with it. What y'all think about it? Was it what you anticipated? Not even just result, but also how the result came about. Yeah, what were y'all thoughts on the fight?
Very surprised. I'll tell you that much. I didn't think it was gonna be, you know, somebody getting outclassed like that. It looked like two different types of. It looked like two. It was a mismatch. Bottom line, it makes me question, what was Spence the entire time like. He actually, what I'm saying, uh, the guy. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Whatever. That's
I'm
just
gonna
how
keep
I
it a
feel.
buck.
A lot of people
I
lost their
thought,
money.
yeah, like I thought it was gonna be like a way better fight than what it was. But looking at it, I was like, man, this dude's getting dominated. Like, like, did you even pinch the dude? Like, did you even? I mean, what did you do? Like, he was getting manhandled in there. It was like to the point to where I was like, I thought it was in Rocky's car. I'm like, oh, the damn towel. Like, goodness gracious, this man
All right,
he's getting beat. I
all right.
mean, beat, and his corner was just like let him get beat. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think I would have stopped it. Like, but I just feel like Rod said, was a mismatch, but he did all he could. But there was no way he was coming back from that. It was ugly.
Well, so I picked Spence to win the fight initially, and during the week I had an opportunity to watch the pressers. I had a chance to watch the weigh-in. I had a chance to like just kind of gather all of the outside, information of the fight. And there's only been one other time where I saw Bud Crawford as mad at a presser um, as this one. And it was the fight before he fought Sean Porter. And if anybody remembers the fight where he fought Sean Porter, he beat Sean Porter's ass. Um, Sean Porter's dad stopped the fight. So, um, so what I learned from that moment was don't piss Bud off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, the moment Bud tried to have a smooth, chill, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's enjoy it. We here. It's a big fight. We're at the press conference. Your family respect my family. You know what I'm saying? My friends respect your friends. Let's get together. Let's make it peaceful. This, that, and the third. And when Spence's um, entourage kept going, and it got to the point to where it pissed Bud off, I knew right in that moment it was going to be a different fight. Um, I even told a group of friends. I told our people on the back channel, like, I knew everything had changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, so now it's about respect. And basically, what you saw in there was an OG go into the ring and fight one of these young bucks and be like, now, Next time I talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you say sir in front of my name. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it was Bud Crawford showed exactly why he's now the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. He put on a clinic. It wasn't close. It was never close. Um, it was a one-sided fight. Like Dennis said, I did not expect to see a blowout in a fight. I expected it to go 12 rounds. I expected it to be a decision. You know what I'm saying? Knockout was never in the equation for either fighter. Um, Actually, I had some people saying that they had Spence stopping Bud in the ninth round. And it's so funny that the tables literally turned. It was Bud who stopped him in the ninth round. So great fight all the way around. I don't think no one can question Bud Crawford. This is his era. We have entered into the Bud Crawford era. Put some respect on his name. Nobody wants to see him at 147. As a matter of fact, he's talking about moving up to 154. Errol Spence is no longer coming back at 147. He's moving up to 154. We're about to see a shift in most of these top fighters who have reigned at the 147 level go up to the 154. And all I can say is if Bud Crawford ends up unifying at 154, oh, he is in the Mount Rushmore of all-time greats. They're trying to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. It's not yet. Although Bud Crawford is the only man that has unified in two different divisions, two different weight classes. And I promise you, if he makes it a third at 154, you can't say nothing about no Bud Crawford. He might be the greatest at unifying in three different weight classes.
No, I'm happy you brought up Floyd because obviously we saw the takes flying all over Twitter per usual when there's a big event, big fight that goes on, and one of them was that he could beat Floyd, right? So a question for y'all again for the
yourself.
Well, there goes Rod's answer to this question. But I was gonna say, like, how hot of a take is that? Like, how hot, ridiculous, crazy, or is it not as hot as some people might think?
It's not as. Go ahead.
That's ridiculous. See what it is what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, Floyd because he's retired, he doesn't box anymore. They're trying to say now he's quote unquote an old fighter and he can't keep up with the young dudes. So now he's the storyline is gonna kind of go, oh well, Floyd hasn't fought in a minute, blah blah. But Floyd ain't trying to fight nobody no more. The man's undefeated. What is it, 52-0?
If we're talking about professional, we're just going to keep it at 50. Like, we don't care nothing about him fighting exhibitions and all that.
Yeah, that Jake Paul fight and all that stuff. Yeah.
He's 50-0 in boxing.
So 50-0.
We don't count.
What more does he have to prove to these young cats? Nothing. Stay where you at and collect that check. Let them come catch you, Floyd. Please, anyone listen to that mess.
Well, I feel like here's the thing about boxing. We can say this about any sport, right? The thing that's flashy and gets you the attention is what you do offensively. And we all know Floyd is a phenomenal defensive boxer. That was especially later on in his career. That's what he really, had his reputation on. I mean, you look at it in basketball, you could have someone who's a phenomenal defensive player, but if you ask someone who's better, is it the person that's a better offensive player that plays no defense? Or someone who's just good at both offense and defense, they're probably going to go with the phenomenal offensive player. Right. And I feel like a lot of times, I think in this case too, with Floyd, that's where some of this comes in, where it's, he was just a good defensive boxer, or he was primarily a good defensive boxer. So they don't really give him the credit he deserves.
Exactly. Yeah, they both.
Oh, true.
Neither one of them boys. Go ahead, Rob. Oh, you good?
I just feel like it's just prisoner of the moment type talk. Anytime you bring up the Floyd situation, it's like, bro, leave that shit alone. The man has done exactly what he was supposed to do.
Shout out Gina, there she is.
Man. It's just wild. It's just wild.
So I'll say this to your question, Jordan. It is not a take that we should dismiss. And I'll tell you exactly why. Floyd, we've witnessed the greatest, right? We've seen him in the ring. We've seen what he's done. Were there some fighters left on the table that I think he ducked? Yeah, absolutely. But his record is his record. He's never lost a professional fight. He's beat some great fighters. We've seen those fights. I used to have fight parties at my house all the time. So we've seen many and many of his fights. You know what I'm saying? So I know Floyd reigns at the top. But what the biggest thing is, I mean, I can promise you this. The biggest thing is Bud Crawford is now 40-0. He is 10 fights away from tying Floyd's record.
Mm-hmm.
He has beat by far a handful of the greatest. He is on the Mount Rushmore of that 147 division. He is now top 5, right? The 4 heads of the Mount Rushmore of 147 is Sugar, Tommy, Duran, and
Wait,
oh
who'd
my
you
gosh.
say? Who was the first 3?
He says Sugar,
Sugar.
Tommy,
Sugar Ray
and
Leonard,
Yep.
Tommy Hearns,
the Get Hit Man.
Duran, and please, the Get Hit Man, my
No,
Duran
it's Martin
and,
reference. Martin reference.
I know. Martin's my favorite show. Trust me, I know every Martin episode.
Me too, bro.
I'm leaving off Marvin Hagler. There it is.
Okay.
Marvin Hagler. Okay, Hagler. Okay, so that's the top 4 at 147 welterweight, like in history. Okay, Crawford is now on that list. He unified. He's the first unified at 147. Those greats, as they were, didn't unify, dog. Crawford is the first person in the boxing era to unify at 147, dog. And he did it in the. It is not a take lightly. He's 10 fights from Floyd, beating the best and unifying in 2 divisions already. So he's already an instant Hall of Famer. And if he does 154 and goes up and knocks out Charlo and beats a rematching Spence and maybe gets, I'm trying to tell you right now, you can't dismiss that. Is he better than Floyd? It's real close right now.
Okay, so the question. So now I feel like the question, and I don't know if Jordan, I don't know if you're gonna get to this, but the question is now. Let's just say he does go 50-0. Are Floyd? Are they in the same weight class? I'm asking.
No. Not in it. I mean, if he move up, he will be.
Okay, so does he move up or does Floyd come down? And will Floyd come out to maintain that status? I wouldn't.
Whoa. Are you talking about Floyd actually coming out of retirement and fighting?
Yeah, to fight him
professionally.
Because you already know Floyd don't like to lose nothing. He don't want to be second.
Let me tell you.
So if he goes
boxing professionally has passed Floyd 5 years ago. Professionally has passed him 5 years ago. He can go make the stupid money and the gimmicks and the exhibitions and all of that. But this is supposed to be an exhibition. You know what I'm saying? He can do that. You dig what I'm saying? But like he's not ever coming back to fight no Bud Crawford in his prime. Floyd Mayweather will be sitting down in the 3rd round.
Right, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying. I mean, I agree with you. But before we get, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. I'm just saying. You know how Floyd is. I'm the best fighter ever. I'm 50-0. No one's ever done it. And if he does come in and become 51-0, now Floyd can't say that.
It's up for a debate. It's a good debate.
It's a good debate. Yeah. Even if he ties him at 50-0, then you're going to go down the resumes of both fighters. Right. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. If he comes in at 50 and he fights, first of all, I don't see him fighting 10 more fights. Okay, we're talking about these type of fighters take 1 fight a year, maybe 2. So even if he took 2 for the next 5 years, that would have him at 41. Bud is about to turn 36. So do I see him even getting to 10 more professional fights? Maybe. But as my boy said, in Rocky, those were setups. Those are easy. Those are easy.
Hey, someone get that thing away from Rob, man. That might have been the worst thing that might have ever happened.
He told her, he'll knock you into the ball, Rock.
But I mean, but here's the thing too, because I think especially with boxing, it's so interesting. You know, with other sports, you have positions, right? When you're trying to compare who's the GOAT to who's the GOAT and all these different things. In boxing, you have weight classes. Like you said, you know, if you're a lightweight or welterweight, it's so much different than if you're a heavyweight. Where, you know, in the past, obviously, like heavyweights don't dominate boxing like they used to, you know. And so that's what makes it so interesting to me, again, as someone who's not the biggest boxing person. Whenever people start having GOAT debates, like, you know, this person can have this stand on it because of how they fought. They have all these knockouts. Then you have someone like Floyd, again, 50-0, and his style was so much different. You know, like that's the thing that's so interesting to me in debates like this, and that's why, you know, I'm like, to an extent, more so me just, you know, learning and knowledge wise, I was happy that people started making those comparisons, because I wanted to see what people who actually really do lock into and watch boxing, what they think about them.
Boxing is set up for the next 3 to 4 years for prime time fights. There are so many good fighters in at least 3 or 4 different divisions of boxing that we are set up for prize fights like this for the next 3 to 4 years. Like even
agree.
not only the big matches, you know, not only the undefeateds, but those rematches. Like we just saw what little baby Mike, the Mexican Mike Tyson. We saw what Cruz did real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Like people thought Isaac Cruz beat Tank Davis in their first fight. You dig what I'm saying? People had it at best a draw, but they didn't see Tank winning that fight. Tank even know he lost that fight. So Isaac Cruz wants a rematch with Tank before Tank even take on Shakur, or before Tank take on Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? But Haney wants Shakur. Shakur don't want Haney. He want Tank. You dig what I'm saying? Like we are set up for great boxing for the next 3 years, man. It like hands down. It's about to be a clinic with these boys. The best are fighting the best. And that's just the way it's gonna be. That's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Wise just
Wise,
entered
what's up,
in the
brother?
building. Was good, Wise? I hate to admit it though, you missed the we've been live for 19 minutes, so you're 4 minutes past the color people time window of being incredibly late. But no, welcome, man. I hope you're having a good Monday.
It's Monday, man. Of course, I'm not having a good Monday, but
Fair enough.
I had to run and go get that Mega Million ticket. So just, you know, I can't take
I
y'all
ain't
in the
mad
streets
at you.
with me if I don't win. So
I
Hey,
ain't
that's
mad
what's up,
at you.
Brian. That's what's
I
up,
had,
Brian.
I had to go shoot that up. So
Appreciate the love,
Hey,
Brian.
so,
And
hey, Wise,
what he says,
Wise,
everybody.
If you hit, bro, like, hey, just look out for your boy, dog. A cool 100,000.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
a
we
cool
gonna
100,000.
upgrade the Steinway behind you. We're gonna upgrade it. You know, we're gonna go to the next level with the Steinway.
Jordan, you hear him?
My guy.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, lock that in. That's happening.
You sure? All right, look, it's hey, you said it now. It's you know it's being recorded.
It's happening.
You
It's
hit
live.
that
I
thing,
ain't going
dog.
back
Just,
down
you
from
know,
that.
just
So.
when you quit your job, I want to quit my job too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. The Kawhi shit is hilarious.
You know what's bad about this too? So anytime Rod hits one of those buttons, y'all notice how he looks away for a minute too. Just...
Yeah, real quick, he'll be like,
Like I don't know where that came from.
yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh no,
He
he
tried to
know
put his hands in the air.
he just wants that.
He tried to put his
Like,
hands in the
y'all
air.
gonna bask in this glory real quick of what
Yeah.
I just did.
See how you do it? See how you do it? All right, what's going? What I missed though?
All right, no, we were just talking
Oh
about the
man, we
boxing
just
fight.
finishing up on that fight. If you want to give us what you liked about it, what you didn't, but I mean, you know,
I mean, it wasn't much
you saw the results.
to go off of. It was an ass whooping. You know, like I'll say this. I did not see it going that way at all.
We all said that.
Not that I
We
didn't
all-
see Bud winning. I didn't see him winning like that.
Not like that, right?
Yeah,
Just
not
sort
like that, man. It just showed me that And this is not taking anything away from Spence. Spence is still an elite fighter. It's just that apparently he ain't on that same level. Yeah, he's not on that same level as Bud. And
there are levels.
I didn't expect that at all, man. Like, yeah, man.
I mean,
And the cold part is after round one, it was over.
Oh, he better run. Don't run it back. Just run, my guy.
I don't think we need a rematch. We don't. He don't need to. He need to just move up and then put that behind him and go do something else. Because
at this point, Canelo do that? Didn't Canelo put it behind?
That's exactly what Canelo did. Yeah,
on and have a career. You dig what I'm saying?
Have a career.
You don't need to see Bud ever again.
Just let it be, man.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care, Jerry.
And first of all, that Stephen A. dude, he talking about Arrow need to retire. Nah, man, come on now.
Nah.
Whoa, slow down.
Nah.
Yeah,
Arrow is he's never fighting at 147 again. Like, it was too hard to make the weight. It was too hard to maintain it. They all talk about maintaining that weight. They're done at 147. Like, this
Definitely.
was for unification. Like, there's no need to fight anybody else at 147. You have nothing to prove, Errol Spence, at 147. You lost against the best, arguably the best. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have nothing to prove. Canelo lost to the best. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't have nothing to prove. You move on, you regroup, and you have a career. Canelo is still on the top 10 pound for pound list to this day. You dig what I'm saying? So, you move on. Errol Spence can get back there.
Marcus,
he's off my top 10 right now.
What up, Marcus?
What's up, Marcus?
I'm gonna
he's
need
off my top 10 list.
I'm gonna need
now.
my kid, my guy, Boots Ennis. Chill. You not ready yet. Just
wait
get
a minute,
little more
wait a minute,
seasoning.
wait a minute.
You're not ready yet.
First of all, Boots don't need to fight Crawford. Not right now.
At all. Not right now. Yeah. Not right now.
Boots now. And not to say that Boots ain't talented enough. I just don't think he's fought enough seasoned fighters to be on that level.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Cured.
Errol Spence is not going to fight him. He don't want them problems. Boots is still a problem. You dig what I'm saying? He's an alien in there. He's terrifying. Don't nobody want to fight him.
Boots needs to go beat up Thurman. Go beat Thurman up.
Oh, that's the only thing that he gonna have on his list. You're gonna have to deal with one time. You dig what I'm saying? You're gonna have to deal with one time, and that's a good thing. That's what he needs on his resume.
That's what he needs on his resume, exactly.
Those other, you dig what I'm saying? So absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Boots, you ain't ready for Crawford, and Crawford ain't even gonna fight you at 147. So get those. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boots going and clean up 147 is wide open for you. You dig what I'm saying? And then after you did enough you could do at 147, go to 154 and fight Crawford. That's the only chance he fights Crawford. I don't ever see it happening, though, to be honest with you.
Nah, because by the time Boots is ready to go to 154, Crawford, he'll either be long in the tooth or he'll be done.
He'll already be wrapping it up.
Yeah, because Crawford, if you think about it, at 154, all he really has to do, he can go straight to Charlo.
Give me the Kawhi, bro. Give me the Kawhi. Regina wanted her one little funny. Yeah, let's give it to her. There you go.
Hilarious. So yeah, he can go up and get Charlo if he want to go right away. But I mapped out his next few fights.
Who can go get Charlo?
He can go get Charlo right away. Crawford.
You Bud?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, if he want to take one fight at 154 before he goes and gets Charlo, he can go take out Zoo, take him out, then hit Charlo next spring. Then if he really wants to get the bag before he calls it quits, hit Canelo at a catchweight. That's hit Canelo at a catchweight. That's a bag. That's a bag.
It's a bag, but Canelo will be done by the time he gets to that point.
It has to be by next winter. If it ain't by the end of next year, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. Canelo still got unfinished business. He still want to rematch Beterbiev, and that's not gonna be good for him.
First of all,
again.
Beterbiev is the real deal. Like,
he's on my top 10 list. He's right behind Canelo on my top 10. He is that business.
Beterbiev is a problem.
He don't want no.
He don't want Bivol. He don't want none of them. So
he don't want Bivol. He don't want none of that.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Canelo's still fighting demons in his own weight class.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody that's out there in that weight class, they need to just stay away from Better BF. Like that boy's hands is a problem. Like,
Yeah,
he
no,
he was supposed to fight in
so-
August, but I heard his fight got postponed. So, yeah. All right,
yeah,
back to y'all.
it's good. It's good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for
Smith
them.
was about to get KO'd quickly. It was gonna be night for him.
Fast.
All right, well, let's make this transition real quick from the fight in the ring to a quote unquote fight that goes on in training camp. Obviously, it's that point of the year. Everybody gets a little feisty during training camp. It just happens. I know. Been in my fair share of training camp fights myself, right? But I don't know if y'all saw what happened with the Cleveland Browns, right? There's Ogbo Okoronkwo and James Hudson III, right? The linebacker for the Browns who hits the lineman, then he takes off and runs, right? I want to know what did y'all think about that, and what exactly is the right fight etiquette? Because if you ask me, that's not fight etiquette.
I can't wait till we be like, pull up the footage.
Yeah, because that man was playing duck, goose.
Let me find the footage now.
Look here, he
I'm
hit
about to
that
drop it in the
man
group.
and took off like, oh shit, I done fucked up. And he was like pulling high and just like took off, thinking that he wasn't coming behind him. And because you tell he ain't run too far, so you think, oh, the lineman ain't gonna run too far. He ain't got enough wind in him. When he start running and turn around, you see his whole body tense up, like, oh.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I was about to say, Rod, the next audio I need for you is in that moment that he knew.
Yeah, at that moment, he knew.
Because that's the thing for me, right? Like, even when here's the thing for me. Obviously, when it comes to training camp, everything that you do is on video, and I'm not even saying from the media. I think it was Mary Kay Cabot. I hope I said her last name right. That got the video that started, showing it all. That started going on Twitter. But in the meeting room, everybody's going to see that. So here's the thing for me: how in the world are your teammates going to respect you when they see you throw a punch or throw a slap at somebody and then you take off running? That's the question for me. Because here's the thing: all coaches, like, I'll put it this way, right? Like, for me to training camps, coaches they technically don't want you to fight, right? Because there's a chance you get thrown out of practice, somebody gets hurt, all that stuff. But here's the thing, though: at the end of the day, like, they don't. Like, if you don't back down and you show a little something, like, they do respect that and like that. So here's the thing for me: you could have potentially gotten yourself thrown out of practice for throwing it, but then you run away from it. Like, I just want to know what the meeting room looked like when they saw that film the next day. That's what I want to know.
But Jordan, this is my question. I don't know how they do it behind closed doors like at practice, but basketball wise, say if you do something like that, they keep it's almost like a loop. So they'll keep showing it over and over. And coaches don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? So while it's still going on continuously, you're getting more and more frustrated because everybody's seeing it, looking at you like, bro, what the fuck? Why is you running? What was going on? You know what I'm saying? And then it gets worse and worse and worse after that. So I think it's just hilarious. Anytime, look at him.
Hey, the funny thing was, like, I thought it was like a playful slap. You know what I'm saying? Like, he even stopped running and turned around. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like a playful slap.
Yeah.
He ran away like a bad kid, man. Look at that.
And then like he stopped. So I was like, oh, he's stopping. And then old boy just blew up on him. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that escalated quickly.
It is hilarious. Well, can I say this real quick? One of my homies is a Browns fan, right? He said he was more concerned about the throw Deshaun made.
You played yourself. I
was like, you might have a point there. It was a pretty bad pass by Deshaun, but I couldn't get past old boy slapping him on the helmet and running. It was it was very
he him off smooth too. I didn't even recognize the pick.
Yeah, he was worried about that pick.
Drake got overshadowed.
Let me get that.
Well, look, I'll put it this way too, though. If you're Deshaun, you're not expected. While y'all don't even have full pads on yet. You don't expect defensive linemen and pass rushers to be by your feet. So I'm sure that took him by surprise at least a little bit too. But again, this is how it works too, right? So probably even before meetings happen, you
Right.
go home, everyone has their iPads. Everybody knows it happened, whether they watched it, they were part of the period or not. Everyone knows it happened. So you get to the locker room, or later on in practice, everyone comes up, say, "Hey, you gotta see this. You gotta see this." So you get on the iPads or wherever else, however else you watch film at home, and so everyone's already watching it. So whether it was that night, after treatment, cold tub, all that stuff, if somebody saw him walking down the hallway, you're already giving the look like, or somebody saying something. So everybody already knows before you even get to meetings. And then all of a sudden, though, like once you actually play it in the film room, because like the thing is, and I'm sure maybe y'all were part of this too. When everyone knows there's a play coming up in film where somebody does something just stupid or that's really funny, you already kind of start laughing. So when that play's about to come up, I already know everybody was already
Yo, yeah.
like that's how it goes in film, man.
Summer camp, I'm telling you, Valley View High, when I got trucked, as soon as we saw the film, I already knew it was happening. I was just like, yeah, it's about to get bad. And it was just like, oh, when
everybody.
Yeah. All my D1 dreams faded on that hit. It was
Hey.
It was a problem. Instead of going D1, I went D fuck home. That's what happened to me. So I was like, shit. So
listen, Wise, it's okay. Trust me. The amount of times that I was in that Stanford meeting room and just watching film, and it's like, we're coming to that play.
Who did you fight?
To that play. There it is.
Who did you fight with, Jordan? Who did you fight with?
You said what?
Who did you fight with?
Who did I fight with?
So like, what happened for that to transpire?
Oh, I mean, it's just the nature of camp. Like, you go against the same people, you're hitting the same people every single day for 3 straight weeks. You see the same people, you live with the same people for 3 straight weeks. So just naturally, you start not to like them, they start to not like you.
Especially when your coaches is in your ear telling you to, what mistakes you making and what things you need to improve on. I'm sure all of that is frustrating after a while.
No, it really is. No, it really is. And I mean, and again, like, you got to remember some of the offensive linemen I had to go against every day in practice. Some of them still in the league now. So that's just what it was, like going back and forth. I might win a rep, they might win a rep, or however the case may be. Just again, the fact of you hitting the same person for 3 straight weeks, like after a while, it gets to you.
Hey, were you there when Garnett was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were in the same class.
Oh, I thought he was gonna be it. I really did. I thought he was gonna be it.
All you have to do is look at the block that he had at home. It was a home game against Washington. I think he was pulling and he caught either a linebacker or a safety.
Yeah.
And flipped him. Because I remember y'all drafted him, was like the last pick. Y'all traded up, I think, last pick in the first round to come get him too.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be it. Where's he at now?
I think he is not on the team right now, actually. Right. I know he was actually back in the Bay just a little while ago.
Recently? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I'm happy Wise was talking about JG, because that can bring us to our next topic in terms of fights. And I say that in terms of position battles and fights. And as we all know, it's been a lot that's been going on, a lot that's been addressed with the position battle. Maybe it is or isn't. That's going on with the 49ers. Looking at what happened in practice today, looked like Brock Purdy got 16 reps today, all with the ones. Trey Lance got 11. Trey Lance, everyone's saying he had his best practice.
It's my quarterback.
David Lombard.
yo, the poker face I got.
Right. No, he's gonna be so adamant about it now. But it's David Lombardi said it might be the best practice Trey had in all his 3 years. So I'll start off with of course our resident Niner fans in the group, and then open up for everybody. But what have you seen from camp so far? What's the most important or intriguing battle for your team? Let's go there. Start off again with the Niners and what's going on quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Well, unfortunately, most of the coverage has been about the quarterbacks. Like, at this point, I want to see what the fuck is going on with everybody else. I think I saw some reports about Drake Jackson looking good, and this is good. This is gonna sound bad. Well, not necessarily bad. It's good for him. But Javon Kinlaw's been looking nice, and I was like, okay. But I try not to get hyped about that because I've heard this before. You know what I mean? I've heard this before, and then it don't end up how I think it's supposed to end up. But what I really want to see is I want to see a lot of the young pass rushers. You know, they're getting their opportunity. Bill Jackson, Kinlaw. You know, I want to see them now that Bosa's out. You got to take care of those reps. But unfortunately, most of the coverage is about the quarterbacks. Like, okay, we get it, but tell me about the rest. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beat writers. I mean, we talking beat writers, we talking content creators. One of us needs to just head out to camp so I can see it with my own eyes at this point.
I ain't talking to you motherfuckers today. Exactly.
So I really want to see more coverage of the roster as an entire thing. I want to see what Wilkes is gonna do with the defense. So how is it going to be different from last year? How is he going to put them in position? I know it's the beginning of camp. We're not going to get too many details. Training or preseason, we're not going to get anything really. So I'm just intrigued how he's working with people. I did see him working with Lenore and Moody Ward, earlier today. So he's really hands-on with the DBs, and I think that's something different. So if the DBs can step up, we're gonna have a problem. You know, we're gonna have a problem. And, you know, because that was always a question with the Niners is the secondary, like, oh, the corners, you know, they can be exposed or whatnot. If they get that right, it's a who is somebody listening to money music in the background? Or is that just me?
No, you good.
Okay, I was like, is that give? I was like, okay, somebody getting it. But anyway, I'm telling you, people that are covering the Niners, just cover the entire team, man. I'm tired of hearing about the quarterback shit all the time. I mean, it's cool. It gets clicks. I get it. But we have an entire roster, and I want to see what's going on with that. So, but the best thing is no injury so far. So keep that going.
Yeah. Well, I know for my Eagles, like the big thing that everyone's been talking about is Nolan Smith. But like I said a couple shows back, like Nolan Smith is going to be the dude that I'm looking at to change our defense. Now, don't get me wrong, Jalen Carter, he's gonna be a monster too. And if I had to choose, like I said on my show the other day, if I have to choose on which one I really want to watch, if I have to watch this person, if I gotta watch Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith this season, I'm gonna watch. I'm more excited to see Nolan Smith than Jalen Carter, only because Nolan Smith is gonna be coming off the edge. He's gonna be coming off from the inside and all that. So my thing is, if I can see sacks like that, you know, edge rushing sacks and, you know, throw people out of the way to get to the quarterback, I want to see that. Pause. That's just me. So yeah, pause. So
the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Yeah, so that's just me. But what I'm concerned about that I really haven't heard our beat writers talk about on the Eagles side of the fence is I ain't heard nothing about Nakobe Dean. I haven't heard anything. Like nothing. And if he's supposed to be
that's a concern, right?
To me, I mean, if he's supposed to be the one calling the defensive plays, bro, I ain't heard nothing from this dude. I mean, is he filling a roster spot right now? Or what? Well, and when I say filling a roster spot, like a position, he was drafted, so you know we're gonna play him and see how he works. But I mean, I wouldn't think so because I mean, they're not gonna draft you and not play you. I would hope so. But my thing is, like I've heard not one thing about Nakobe Dean at all. So to me, that's a little concerning.
Well, I mean, I guess I put it this way. Because usually when you get shouted out during training camp, it's one of two things: you're doing a lot better and you're flashing. That there may be in a ways that people didn't expect you to flash, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So it could be one of those things where, you know, at least for now, Nakobe's kind of in that offensive lineman standpoint where it's like, well, when you don't get your name called, that means you're doing your job.
Yeah, you're not doing nothing special.
Yeah, but you're doing what you're supposed to do. No, I trust me, I get it. I mean, I like one of the reasons I'm so excited about looking at the Eagles defense again this year when you have all those Georgia names out there, there's just that sense of familiarity that all those guys get to play with each other. So again, you think about some of the stunts and some of the games that they can do. Part of that I think people don't realize, especially if you're a linebacker or you're a D lineman, like you do have to understand the type of angles and how certain players are going to, make this move, make that move. They already kind of know it because they played with each other at Georgia. And I think that's something that can accelerate the process, especially of someone like Jalen Carter coming in for the first year, or, Jordan Davis, who, again, he was so important in run stopping. Maybe that can also help him in pass rush this year. And apparently he's in really good shape coming into this camp. So
Right.
no, that's something I was really looking forward to. I want to see what happens with it for the Eagles on defense.
What you got, Rod?
Look at Dennis is like, yeah, that's what I want to hear too.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Well, wouldn't you want to hear too? Like, you just talking good about your team?
I mean, you know how we feel about the Eagles on this show.
No,
It's okay. Everybody got a broke wing sometime. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
I think I'm excited because I've been waiting 3 years to hear about how good Brandon Ayuk is going to be. Like, I've seen the potential for 3 straight years, and now I feel like he's actually blossoming into being the number one receiver amongst the receivers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and it's crazy because I'm seeing certain things about people trying to make it a discussion outside of the quarterback situation, and I'm like, there is no need for all that when they know their roles. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brandon Ayuk, he can run his patterns. He can do everything as a wide receiver one. Debo's the one where he's a Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? So it's like having those two doing what they're doing, looking like they're actually hungry to get out there and make it happen. And then you got McCaffrey destroying Warner on a route. I'm excited about that because Warner's going out there each and every day, talking shit, getting things pumped up, and then now he got humbled today. You know what I'm saying? At practice, he got smoked. You know what I'm saying? And again, let's not forget, McCaffrey deserves the respect. Don't make it seem like McCaffrey's a bum or something like that. You got to respect him for exactly who he is. So it's like, Warner, yes, you're good. You know what I mean? But McCaffrey's just different. So it's like, to have that on offense, and then you're going against the number one defense on a daily basis, I'm here for it. I love hearing about the outside situations that are going on. I love hearing about Kinlaw taking advantage of these other guys' pause on the offensive line, the way that he's doing. So it's like, to see what he's actually doing that from what we're told against, the backups. But as far as from what we're told, as far as these starters are concerned, he's having a little bit of trouble. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. That's fine. Work out your kinks and everything like that. But I'm also liking hearing about the secondary, hearing how hungry they are, to Wise's, point, the way our defensive coordinator is doing things. I love the way that he's working with the guys and getting them to be better at their position. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, that's been a weakness for so many years. And so now with that getting polished the way that it is, it's like, you know what? We are getting somewhere in a way where I'm just excited to see how far, we can go in
Jesus.
on everything. So it's a good situation.
I'm hoping Hufanga takes the real big step this season. Like, he's already that guy. But I'm talking about now, we're talking, does he get to the Troy P level? You know what I'm saying? Because it's very possible he might. And that's a big level to get to. So, and I love how he's the first one out there every day, consistently.
Yeah. Great job. Yeah, great job.
My bad. It's time for the Rams now, right? It's time for the Rams, right?
I mean, how many? Next, we'll be talking about, they tied up their shoes, so nicely and perfectly. Okay, fine. All right. So my thoughts of camp so far, like I told y'all before when we were talking about OTAs and things of that nature.
Stetson Bennett.
Hold on, did my guy have a wardrobe
I'm
change?
here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care. Jerry.
Hey,
Did
that
you
ain't
have a
me. I
wardrobe
lost
change?
that. I see you had a wardrobe change?
Who?
You.
I got the same shirt.
Oh, I didn't know you was Rams out earlier. I didn't see it. Okay. I was like,
yeah, same shirt. No.
Okay.
But I was just saying during OTAs, my biggest question was how young our secondary was going to be. And they're super young. Got a lot of guys that are in their second years competing for starting roles at this point. But I'm actually happy to say during training camp, our young secondary has been actually looking pretty damn good. Couple of people that we brought over in free agency. One person in particular, Akilo Witherspoon, he came over from Pittsburgh, cornerback,
Former
and
Niner,
he's
I
been
believe, too.
He's been playing well. He's injured. He had to have surgery on his thumb, but he's playing with a cast on right now. So trying to make that roster spot is real. So ain't nothing stopping him from trying to make the roster. But he actually picked off, which is not a surprise. He picked off Stetson Bennett in training camp. My second year safety, Quentin Lake out of UCLA. He's picked off a pass in training camp. Doggone it, my undrafted safety that is trying to make the team. His name is Tanner Single or something like that. He picked off Matt Stafford pass on day one of training camp. So Stafford's still throwing picks. If anybody wanted to know, he's still throwing picks.
Boy, y'all stink.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's still doing his thing. Stetson Bennett has been a surprise in Rams training camp. Actually, I can't even hate on the kid. He's been actually throwing well and passing well. He had one pick so far.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
I mean, that whole Georgia relationship thing. One receiver two receivers are competing for the number 3 spot, and Demarcus Robinson, who came over from the Chiefs, who's been actually having a great training camp, poised to get that number 3 spot behind Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson. And then my rookie coming in is also competing for that spot in Puka Nacua, and that boy out of BYU. And if not for some injuries and some things happening, he was a 3rd round talent that got picked in the 5th round. So he's looking real good. He's looking real Cooper Kupperish. And for some odd reason, we always Cooper Kupperish.
I love that.
You dig what I'm saying? In his route running. And, so we excited to see that. We'll see. Oh, our young defense is at the front of the line. Kobe Turner, he's going to be next to Aaron Donald this year. Byron Young is going to be on the end, Agent Zero. We already talking about him out of Tennessee. So, I mean, a lot of young guys and a lot of young positions, and we're just going to see how it roll. But, other than that, man, that's thoughts on training camp so far. We'll see how, hopefully no injuries, and we can avoid that bug too. You know what I mean?
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
Always is.
Yeah.
Falcons.
No, I mean, as I've been telling y'all all along, I am excited about the Falcons this year. I think the thing that's been really cool for me, I know somewhat similar to what goes on out here in the Bay. Everyone in Atlanta is worried about, how did Desmond Ridder do today? How did he do? Honestly, it's day 4 of camp. I don't really care. Ask me when is week 2, like later on in week 2 or after that first preseason game, when the starters get reps. That's when I might start to care about it. But I'm excited about the most, and from what I've been hearing, we might actually have a secondary. Like, finally. You spend all that money to get Jesse Bates in from Cincinnati. Obviously, AJ Terrell is a top 5, in my opinion, corner in this league. Jeff Okuda is kind of that reclamation project, but then you get Mike Hughes, who can be a slot guy. You got Trey Flowers, who can match up with some tight ends. And of course, the thing for me, I was excited when they drafted him, especially when they drafted him. You got Clark Phillips out of Utah, because that dude is a dog, a pick six machine. He's already making big time plays in training camp. So that's what I'm excited about, because it's funny. I remember I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. The Falcons played at Levi. They were out here at Levi's, and so we went. And so I was going up the escalator. Somebody was talking trash to me about the Falcons, and they said something like, "Oh yeah, like Matt Ryan sucks," something like that. This is like, I think it was Matt Ryan's last year, and I was like, okay, well, name me one person on the team he has to throw to besides Julio. He had to think about it. He was just like, okay, yeah, I guess you got a point. Now this year, not the case, right? We have some weapons, and I think Desmond's really going to do well with that, right? With Drake, Kyle Pitts, Bijan's looking like he's going to be potentially, worth all the hype that he's been garnering. But the thing for me is, at the end of the day, we saw so many teams torch us in the secondary for years that we might have a good, back four, back five, depending on whatever the defense is. So that's the thing I'm the most excited about. The only thing I'm concerned with, because I know we talked about injuries, Matt Hennessy was supposed to be slated to be our starting left guard. I know he got hurt, and it was during a walkthrough, but it was because something tweaked from an injury he had last year. Apparently, it's not going to be that bad according to MRIs. Mm-hmm. But we had a top 5 run. I mean, we had a top 5 O-line last year, especially in the run game. So you want to keep that continuity as much as possible. So yeah, if injuries were to derail that'd be tough.
Who's I saw some clips. Who's the dude y'all got playing wide out that looked like a linebacker?
It looks like a linebacker?
Yeah, built like a linebacker. They've been showing him in clips.
You see what number it was?
I think it was number 10, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's probably Mac Hollins.
Okay, yeah. That name sounds familiar. Yeah. I was like, why is he built like
Vegas.
A linebacker right now?
He was in Vegas last year, I think, or the last couple of years.
Okay.
All right. So question: the injury from Joe Burrow, like, is he playing week 1? I say he is.
I think he is.
Like, do you think it's gonna be? Is he still gonna be warming up in practice and all that, or?
Well, I mean, they said he's gonna be out a few weeks, but here's the scare for me. Whenever anyone says calf strain, I always think back to Kevin Durant.
I
always do, and especially because I think whether you've torn an Achilles, and I'm not saying that he did, that Joe Burrow did, but when you tear an Achilles or you know someone that tore an Achilles, they always say the same thing, right? You look back, felt like somebody kicked you. There's nothing there. That's kind of what it is. And so when I saw what happened with him, he didn't look back, but again, it was just like there's nothing there. So I just hope for him that it's going to be something that if it really is just a strained calf, there's nothing else with it, that it'll be okay. But, whenever I hear strained calf, though, especially because of the whole Kevin Durant situation, I get a little paranoid with that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. I mean, I really hope he's back. I like Joe Burrow. Yeah. I'm a Joe Burrow fan.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I really hope he's going to be okay. He has plenty of time. He doesn't need to play in any preseason games regardless. So I'm just hoping it's kind of like Jordan said. It's not one of those Kevin Durant things to where it's like it's bad, but they're just waiting for it to go. I just hope it is just like it's just a strain, and time off of it will be fine. Because if not, that changes a lot of things in the AFC.
Yes.
Right,
a lot of things.
Right.
Not even just in the division, but that changes a lot of things in the AFC.
Like between him and his receivers, that's what training camp and all that stuff is for, to build that chemistry. So if you miss a few weeks, Jordan, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, but that hurts.
Well, the good thing for him is that majority of his targets, they've been there for years.
Yeah.
Like T. Higgins is still there, Jamar Chase is still there, Joe Mixon, like all those dudes, they played with him for a while. They've gone through the OTAs. I'm sure they did off-season workouts together. So, like, you're not wrong, right? But at the same time, if there was a situation where a quarterback or somebody important in your offensive attack misses time, you would hope that it'd be someone that's been there for a minute and they already have that rapport with everybody who's there.
Hey, Cincinnati, come get Brandon Allen.
There you go.
Bring him back.
Hey, he was QB2 last year for them. He was QB2. But let me ask you this. No, because I'm so happy you brought up Joe Burrow. So I'll ask y'all this. If you were in his shoes, would you play another snap without getting that contract done?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Give me my money.
Every bit of it. I want every point you got. I need my
I want my money on time.
Yeah, absolutely not. He's not playing no more. He's not to that contract is signed, sealed, and delivered.
I'm yours.
And nor should he.
I'm with
like he is the franchise. Like he is the most important thing in Cincinnati outside of De La Cruz.
Let's say it's him and Ellie De La Cruz.
Exactly. Outside of De La Cruz, he's the most important thing. And
well, I'm gonna tell you who's the most important player in San Francisco, and that's a guy by the name of Bosa, who is not there right now. And I know Rod said that he'll be in camp or signed, deal done by Sunday. I believe was it this past Sunday or
congratulations?
I think he said in the end of the first week, I think is what Rod said, right? I think that's what it was.
So I don't know if you guys have been here. I don't know if you guys have been hearing this or not. You know what I'm saying? If any of your sources, but some believe that the 49ers might trade Bosa. How do you guys feel about that?
That's not happening.
Here we go.
I need to hear those. I need to see those sources.
I have sources close to the organization.
Stop the cap.
The deal will get done before the season starts. I personally believe Bosa just don't want to be in camp. Like
Facts.
that's what I believe.
Facts.
They'll wait it out. I don't think it's. I think the numbers already. They're in the ballpark.
This already
they know
done
what they
deal.
can.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get rid of the reigning defensive player of the year? Like,
right.
You're not doing that.
You draft. They're not. They're not. It's. They know what they're going to pay him.
They're not that dumb, right? They're not that.
They're
dumb.
not going to do that.
Well, I mean, here's the other part of it too. That's one of your top 3, top 4 or 5 picks that actually paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, how much we talked about Trey Lance, and again, there are a lot of reasons we can talk about as to why it didn't or it hasn't so far, but hasn't paid off. I don't think like they would have expected. As much as I hate to say it, because this is my guy, obviously with Solly, that didn't work out how they would want it to work out. You got this guy number 2, and again, he's one of if not the best defensive players in the game. So because it actually worked out, I'm saying even from the optics standpoint, how could you not find a way to get him back? I don't care what the price tag is.
And the good thing about that is that he's not waiting on anybody. There's nobody that needs to sign before him right now. He's the one that's up. He's about to set the line moving forward. So I just don't think he want to be in camp. And you know how the Bosa brothers do that though, man. Like,
thank you.
They don't like coming to OTAs for the most part. They don't even like working out in their team's home city. They stay in Florida.
They want to play ball.
They stay in Florida. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and they just want to play ball when it's time. So don't be surprised if, you know what I'm saying, Jacksonville one day reaches out and sees if
y'all smoking crack. Yeah. Something is wrong with you people.
I'm pretty sure, aren't they Miami boys? They're Miami boys, right?
That's St. Thomas Aquinas, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, Miami won't be calling no time soon. Maybe they got a chance in Tampa, but Miami won't be calling no time soon.
If you put them with Christian Wilkins in the inside of that D line, that would be something.
That's my problem. They don't have enough money to pay for Christian and those boys on the outside. They don't have enough.
You're right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
and that's a good problem to have, though. I mean, shout out to the Bosa twins for that, because if they both living up to their hype, they both got paid, or Nick's about to get paid.
All I keep seeing is Christian Wilkerson do that split at the.
I remember that
game.
I remember that when he was Clemson.
Every
that was a little different.
I hear his name, I just think about that boy doing that split.
That was a little different right there.
Joey hasn't lived up to the hype.
Oh, Joey is nice. You're tripping.
He ain't lived up to the hype.
He lived up
to the hype. Yes. He was a top 10 pick. He tell me, what has he not done? What has he not done?
I mean, outside of just health, for me, that's the only thing I can really knock him for.
And that was really one season. Yeah. I mean, Joey Bosa is a problem. Like, come on now.
Pull up the numbers when he's on the field.
Who's on the other side of Bosa?
Well, I mean,
Nobody
now as
don't
the
get
last
Khalil
year or
Mack?
two is Khalil Mack.
Khalil
Yeah,
Mack,
but he-
right?
It is
He
now.
didn't have Khalil Mack all that time. Stop.
He had him for 2
Khalil Mack
years so
just
far.
no, he did. He got him 1 year.
This is
One
this is
season.
Clipper's third year.
No,
Huh?
he just got there last year.
No, he did not. Khalil Mack
No,
was there the
2
year before
years.
last.
Okay. Let's look it up. Let's find out.
Hold on.
I could
Let's-
have swore
let's-
he's been
let's
there.
go to the
I could be
numbers.
wrong.
Let's look it up.
I could be wrong.
Let's go to
I
the
could be
numbers.
I could be wrong. Yeah, let's look it up.
We could all be wrong, but let's
So
take a look.
here are some of the numbers for Joey Bosa while he's been in the league. So he played in 12 games in 2016, his rookie year, when he was rookie of the year, 10.5 sacks. That next year, played 16 games, had 12.5. Played in 7 games in 2018, 5.5.
That's not
16
good.
games in 2019, 11.5. 2020 played in 12 games, had where is it? 7.5, had 10.5 in 2021 in 16 games, and then played in 5 games this last year, had 2.5. So 60.5 sacks. in
Well,
24
clearly
games.
Nick is
Corrected.
better.
I stand
Clearly Nick is
corrected.
better.
I stand corrected. I apologize.
But I mean, no, I
When he
guess
there.
that's the thing, right? When you have to compare someone that grew up in your own household, that, like I said, I, in my opinion, is the best edge rusher in the game and one of the best defensive players in the game. Yeah, like whatever you've been doing, it kind of gets diminished a little bit. You kind of understand whether you're the older brother or younger brother, it doesn't matter.
So the Watt brothers are better than the Bosa brothers.
Ooh.
I'll
There's
take the
also
Watt brothers.
there's also 3 Watt brothers, so they have
I'll
the
take the
advantage.
Watt
Well,
Let's talk about
the
the
third
defensive
wide
line.
brother doesn't
Yeah,
count.
let's
He's
talk
an
about
offensive
the-
lineman.
I know.
He don't
Yeah.
the
count.
main.
We ain't talking
The
about the
main
fullback.
two.
We ain't talking about
Oh man,
But yeah, the Watt brothers today
Ooh.
are
I'll take
better
the
than the
Watt
Bosa
brothers.
brothers. Today they're better.
Yeah.
That could change if Joey gets healthy and lives up to his name.
the way I
Right.
look at it, I'm
You
just
the
gonna
D
look
lineman.
at and this is what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna look at the top, the 2 versus 2, right? JJ versus Nick Bosa, and as great as Nick Bosa is, give me JJ Watt every
JJ
day
is
of the
better.
week. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
give me JJ Watt.
yeah. So and then I mean, obviously, I'm picking TJ
And
over
TJ is-
over Joey,
It's
but
Joey.
killing
my
Joey.
God, that's I like that question though.
TJ is killing. So yeah, the Watt brothers are absolutely better than the Bosa brothers.
Can we go back to a question that we were just talking about? You had Burrow,
Yeah.
right? Joe Burrow
Mhm.
or Justin Herbert?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
bro.
Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
Absolutely.
I'm taking Burrow over everybody but Mahomes.
Like if you're talking arm,
Ooh.
like just straight up arm strength, arm talent wise, I go Herbert. But in terms of overall quarterback,
You can't
Give me
argue
Burrow.
that one. You can't
I
argue
can't
that
Would you say
one.
that?
I can't argue that at all. Like it after Mahomes, it's Burrow over everybody.
Ishi, what up,
I
bro?
don't- I'm not taking it over.
Sandy.
I'm not taking no Josh Allen.
Absolutely
I'm not
Hell
taking Justin
no.
Herbert, and I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers. And then you could just go down the list. So yeah, it's Joe Burrow after Patrick Mahomes. It's Joe Burrow
It's
over
Joe
everybody.
Burrow. Yep.
Yeah.
How high up do y'all
It's
have
not
Jalen
even-
Hurts?
6.
Did you guys see that tier list? That came out yesterday or today?
From who?
The tier list
let
from
me find
who?
it. I'll see. It was on.
Oh, I
saw
think
it on-
I know what you're talking about. I saw something about it just because someone was talking about
Ian or
Desmond
something?
Ritter on it.
Yeah, because they saying Hurts is tier 2 quarterback. I was like,
But he's probably at the top of a tier 2.
he is. They had him at like 6.
Oh, well then there you have it.
And I personally, I think it's only because he needs to do it.
I just named you the best quarterbacks in the league right now as far as yards, arm wise. That's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, doggone.
So they got
Josh Allen,
Mahomes, Burrow,
Justin
Josh
Herbert,
Allen 3,
and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers 4, Justin
far as
Herbert
Herbert.
5.
So yeah, so I
That's
mean, there
tier
you have
1.
it.
Here, let me
That's,
see
yeah,
this.
those are the most. Those I mean,
Is Josh Allen
We know-
overrated? Can I ask that question?
Yes, I was waiting for him to
Thank
stop.
you. I don't-
Yo, I swear to
Thank
God,
you.
I don't
know
think so.
why people.
I wouldn't say
I don't think- I don't-
overrated
I don't
to
think
me,
so,
man.
no.
I don't know.
I'll give
why
you
they
this.
put that man
I-
so high.
I
It's-
thought
it-
coming
it
into the
was-
league he
get
was,
overrated,
but
though.
no, I'm not saying he's
Yeah, I'm not
overrated
gonna
now.
say he's overrated.
No.
Man.
Give him
Josh Allen is nice.
overrated.
Yeah, okay, so look, hold up, wait. So Josh Allen, he's made it to one AFC championship, correct?
Yes.
2.
Jalen Hurts made it to a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Josh Allen has choked. He's choked. Pause on more important games
Did
than Jalen Hurts has. I'm
He
sorry.
also had
Did
one of
Josh
the best
Allen- did
potential
Josh Allen lose
game-winning
that game?
drives. I'll say he also
But-
had one of the best potential game-winning drives ever, but then this defense let him go down the
yeah,
field. and
Josh
now
Allen
he
did
got
not lose that
respect.
AFC
Hey,
championship
guess
game.
what? Hey, guess
But
what?
that's
It's
the
about
1
wins
year
and losses.
he got it. That's the 1 year he got it. Outside of that 1 year, what has he done?
And even this year, I mean, look at what he was doing before he got hurt. He was the front runner for winning the MVP. Then he hurt his elbow, and he wasn't the same
I
after
mean,
that.
so but this is okay. So y'all talking about Josh Allen, but Justin Herbert shouldn't be on this list then at all.
I definitely say that. I agree with
I mean,
that.
I would put
Justin
Justin
Herbert
Allen,
shouldn't be on this list at all.
Herbert should be in
been
list
saying
at
I
all.
would say
I-
Herbert
That man has
Herbert
done
could be
nothing.
tier 2 if you're gonna go with that, but he's been more consistent though. Jalen Hurts hasn't done it enough. He's only done it the one season.
I'll put it this
Well,
way. Y'all remember that Sunday?
This is my thing though. What has Justin Herbert done at all?
Oh,
But I'll
thank
give you this. I'll give you this
Thank
because I
you.
think
Has he
part
won a
of-
playoff game?
He hasn't.
No.
Has he gone
So
to an
how's he
AFC
up
championship
there?
game?
It's
No.
pretty numbers,
Has
my
he
guy.
won a division? Has he won a division?
Well, he's not
No.
going to win it. He's not
Has
going to
he-
win a division. We
Yeah.
Well, but
come on, we know that.
my point. I'm
That's
just
my-
giving you
thank you.
as
Speak,
a
Dan.
quarterback, as a top 5 tier 1 quarterback, outside of you throwing over 4,000 yards per year, which I can give you a whole list of quarterbacks that's putting up 4K right now in throwing. So Justin Herbert shouldn't be in the top 5. He's
But-
done nothing.
I got
Look,
you.
look
but
at their
here's
definition
my-
of tier.
here-
A tier 1 quarterback. A tier 1 quarterback can carry his team each week. The team wins because of him. He expertly handles pure passing situation. He has no real holes in his games. That's their definition of a tier 1 quarterback.
No.
Okay,
but
so
see,
my
that's-
question,
see, that's
question to you is, so wait, hold on, Wise. So my question to you is, what part
Hey, this
about
ain't my list. I'm just letting you know. This is
No,
the
I
list
know,
that's
no, I
out
know.
there. Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm,
So
I'm
my
saying
question-
that definition
Good
is
debate, good
bullshit
debate.
because that definition takes black quarterbacks out of tier 1. You understand what
But
I'm saying? Because
regardless,
the
black
number one
quarterbacks
quarterback is
use
black.
legs and their arm. And for you to say that he expertly handles pure passing situations is basically saying we're not going to have anybody that can run like Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts, who's putting up better numbers running and passing. No. Expertly. Not you can pass the ball. Now you have to be an expert quarterback to be in tier 1. Man, stop
And
it.
let's
That's
Wise, that
bullshit.
was
hold on,
that was
Dan.
hilarious.
And
by
to
the
your
way.
point
I
of
know,
what you just said,
Everybody, that
And-
went over everybody's head. Though. It's cool though.
dude.
no.
Yeah.
And to your point, Dan, before Lamar Jackson got hurt, Lamar Jackson was up there for MVP candidate. Let's not forget that.
I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't be up there either. Here's
He
my
should be
thing, 'cause
above. He should be above Herbert.
we saw
He should
what-
definitely be
we-
above Justin Herbert.
Here's what I'm saying. We all saw what Lamar Jackson did when his main and arguably only, if you will, receiving threat was Mark Andrews. Like we all saw that. Like I'm with you on that. Here's my thing. Like I remember that Sunday night game. It was Chargers and Niners. You had no Keenan Allen. There was no Mike Williams. Like everybody who was a receiving threat possibly for the Chargers was out. And still with that, you had Justin Herbert having the Chargers in that game. They had no business being in the game, but he was just throwing the ball all over the field, making things happen. So my thing is,
Derek
I
Carr
hear
at
what y'all.
14 over Jared Goff.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
Sorry about that.
that's not. I'm with you on that. But
That's horrible.
so my thing is, I'm not even just looking at when they make these lists. in
Russell
terms of
Wilson at 16?
accomplishments. Well, yeah, with how he played last year, yeah. But what did he look like last year? What did he look like last year? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson.
Trash.
He was
Thank you.
trash.
Unless you're saying he's too high.
Trash.
So you're saying he's too high?
Yeah, he's too
Okay.
high. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
I
what
thought
I'm talking
you're
about.
trying to say he's too low. Okay, that's my bad. That's
no.
my bad.
I'm with you. I'm
Okay.
with you. Yeah.
So no, I'm just looking at again the ability of what Justin Herbert can do, because like I said, he showed it when all of his receivers were out and hurt. Still had his team in games.
Yeah, Justin Herbert is not overrated at all, in my opinion. I mean, the dude, he's that guy. He just they haven't won when it counted. He finally got to the playoffs, and he got popped by Trevor Lawrence, who was on this list. What, a tier 2?
Yeah, I think he was tier 2.
Number 8, tier 2. Now, keep in mind, I don't know what they based this off of. They based it off of strictly last season. I'm guessing no, because they have Lamar Jackson on here, where they have him. But I think Hurts is he's only done it one season. He puts together another season like he did this year. I don't think you can debate that.
I agree.
Lamar is an elite quarterback. He had an injury season or injury prone season last year.
Yep.
You know, he has some other things to deal with. That contract. Now he's locked in. He's ready to go. Lamar gonna be Lamar. Trevor Lawrence is next up. Now this guy right here, Dak.
I think nowhere be in the top 10.
He's not a tier 2.
I honestly think he's gonna move up. And if you did like a postseason rankings or like after season rankings after this year, I think Dak would move up a couple spots.
What? Jordan is really high on Dallas this season. He is really high on
that. That man already done threw like 3 picks in the Dominican part.
Yeah, you were talking about the 1 year where he had a terrible interception year. Usually, if you look at his career, look at his career numbers per year and look at interceptions he's thrown.
Okay, so wait, hold on.
Last year was the outlier.
So we can't go back and forth from what only last year to if you look at the career.
Shout out to Marcus.
I said,
what are we doing? Are we?
What I said is at the end of this year, this is what I think is going to happen. I'm not saying he should be there right now. I'm like, if we're basing off this year, yeah, he's too high. Like Geno Smith, I'd say he could be above Dak Prescott if it was just from last year. I'm saying at the end of this year, he's going to be higher than that.
Oh, tier 4. This is your whoa.
I knew that would get Dan's attention.
I was waiting for it.
So tier 4.
Oh man.
But let's look
all
how they're defining it.
Quarterbacks on tier 4.
I mean, it says a tier 4 quarterback to be an unproven player, not enough information for voters to classify, or a veteran who ideally would not start all 17 games. So I'm thinking of going with the unproven player with Brock Purdy here at 24. Kenny Pickett, another young quarterback. I don't know if he's going to make it.
You don't have. They in the red zone. Like, look, they in the
you don't have. No, you don't have to keep scrolling, Wise. It's okay. No, we don't have to keep scrolling. No. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, Jordan, again,
House
unproven. Not enough information yet.
No, I know.
Yeah, not enough information yet.
I'm cracking the joke.
Yeah, I know. Gardner Minshew.
Oh, shout out. Go Cougs.
Why is Gardner Minshew on this list?
He said go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Represent the pack. All right.
The Palouse.
But I just thought it was an interesting list. I was like, the way they broke it up in tiers.
Keep going down.
That's it.
I think that's where it stops.
That's what stops. It stops right there.
So they don't even have all 32 teams on here?
Apparently not. So, I mean...
So who are the 2 teams left off?
Where's I didn't see Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, he's in tier 3.
He's on the
right
list.
Oh, he was up there.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Ryan Tannehill beats out Brock Purdy.
Did they have Bryce Young or
no? They didn't have Bryce Young
or Houston.
Yeah.
Houston. TJ. Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't have Carolina or Houston.
So it looks like if you have a rookie quarterback expected to start, because I think that's the only reason why they had the Colts on there is because they had
Minshew.
They had Minshew instead of Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Hey, Jordan, is it safe to say, and everybody, like even 49 Wise, Rod, I want y'all to be honest. Is it safe to say if Brock Purdy as the starting quarterback, look at Terradone, who made this list. So is it safe to say that like literally every quarterback on the 49ers is a tier 4?
Oh my God.
And okay, so I'll just it's funny for me. It's funny for me.
I'm not even going to answer that question, man.
But look at
according
to
the definition of the tiers, I would say yes. They're currently there's not enough information on the quarterback.
No more.
Yeah, so
Hey, I feel like y'all know that meme. Y'all know that gif where the little boy is sitting and he mad and he be like
Yeah.
That's how I feel like Rod want to do. I feel like Rod want to do that.
leave it up to Dan to find a way to take shots. Leave it
Hey,
up to
man,
Dan
hey,
to find a
but
way
you
to
know,
take
you
shots.
know,
I
you know, what the,
already
you know what
know.
the crazy thing
How
is?
Rod. I already know how Rod acts. Rod is doing this because he's gonna say, if the 49ers do well, he's gonna use this and be like, I sat back and I didn't say nothing. I didn't say
This
nothing.
is
But
the
now
thing.
that Rod, I know you.
I don't think he'll do that.
No, I'm
The
not.
thing
No,
is,
I'm
the
not.
49ers,
Yeah, no, I'm not.
the 49ers with 4 quarterbacks in the red zone, okay, of this tier
The
list
red zone.
are
The red
still
zone.
considered the second best, if not the first best team in the NFC. So that should tell you everything about this defense. The 49ers
Well,
are
the whole team.
still, what's up, Gail?
What up, Gail?
Legit, they are still considered at minimum the second best team in the NFC. At minimum. And all 4 starting QBs are tier 4 quarterbacks. Wow. That's
Red
enough.
zone
That says you have every weapon on offense, and you certainly have a defense that is ready to destroy.
But it goes
No
back to kind of what Jordan
excuse.
said earlier. Will they finish?
No excuse, Rod. Like you
in
said,
tier 4?
Rod. No excuse.
Will they
No more
finish in tier 4?
No more excuses.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Well, y'all know what we talked about behind, in our chat. You know what I'm saying? And Kyle Shanahan. That's all I got to say. And me and Jordan are on the same page. Jordan can laugh because he's
Oh,
not
my
on his
gosh.
team. I already know how I feel internally. I'm with Jordan. So my thing is with it, don't you fuck this up, Kyle. But I feel like he will because he's too headstrong. Pause. So it's like, at the end of the day, what are we going to do as a team? They say defense wins championships. Not in this generation and not the way the game is played right now. Defense does not win championships. So
Elite quarterbacks do.
Look at exactly. Because look what the Eagles had last year. They had one of the top
except that
They had one
Baltimore
of the top
defense.
defense. Huh?
Yeah.
I told Wise, well, except that Baltimore defense. That defense won the game and the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. That's
And
but
Tampa
think
Bay.
about it. That's over. Hold on, but that's over
And Tampa.
20 years ago.
There's some Patriots teams in there too.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying right now, though, 2023, Mahomes destroyed, arguably, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he destroyed the Eagles' defense. He went down arguably every possession and they scored.
Because for whatever reason, he picks up on the one thing that was a weakness, if you want to call it a weakness, of the Eagles defense,
Exactly.
and that was their linebackers and pass
No.
coverage.
They caught them on the assignment of the guy going in motion.
Yeah, once they got down to
the
the goal line, yes.
Yeah, it was over.
But I'm saying, like, out in the open field, that's where some of the big mismatches were that they took advantage of.
Yeah. With a slippery field also.
Yeah, that was terrible. All right, but let's go to this one final fight that I want to talk about, because this is a fun one. And shout out to Jim Irsay for bringing it to light continuously. The fight between running backs and getting paid. As we've seen it lately, there's the big situation with Jonathan Taylor, who I think it was last year, 2 years ago, was a runner-up for Offensive Player of the Year. Lately he just said he wants to get traded. You've seen Jim Irsay with some of his comments have kind of devalued his contributions, his importance in the league. So, I mean, we already saw, right, what was going on with Saquon Barkley, the contract he signed, and his contract situation in New York. You see what's going on with Dalvin Cook trying to find a team. And we thought it was bad then, but what's going on now with Indianapolis, is this situation actually getting worse?
Yes.
I mean, who are we talking about? For the owners or the players?
Oh, I'm saying for the players.
Oh yeah, it's getting worse.
Well, I mean, you heard when the story when all the running backs, like, they got on a call or something like that, and they were all talking about their money. So yeah, like it's gonna get way worse before it get better. Way worse.
The problem with this is, I mean, let's be honest, they not wrong. I mean,
at all.
It's a passing league now. That's what it is. The quarterbacks get paid because that's who they are. They got to have somebody to throw the ball to, so the receivers get paid. The running backs are getting used up. And I saw Stephen A this morning. He said some dumb shit. Like they should change the age limit so they could let running backs into the
Oh
league
yeah, I saw
earlier.
that. Yeah.
None of that shit's gonna matter. That don't change anything. Like it's the quarterbacks. If they want to get paid, the quarterbacks are gonna have to go into the owners and be like, "Yo, pay my guy." Like the quarterbacks are gonna have to be the one to stand their ground and be like, "Hey, my guy's got to get paid." But even then, until a team wins with a dominant running back, ain't nothing gonna change because it's a copycat league. So everybody's trying to be Pat Mahomes in Kansas City. They won the Super Bowl with McKinnon last year and Pacheco. So there's no need to have an elite running back, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, like Terradon says, like Dalvin Cook is running around trying to find a job at this point. It's tough to be a running back, man. Like it's tough, and unfortunately, I don't see it ending anytime soon.
The thing I think that's interesting for me in all of it, though, because I don't disagree with you, but also I feel like part of that and what you said is why I feel like this is the one thing, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't, I don't know. But it's one of the things I feel like running backs need to use to their advantage. And that is that it's a passing game right now. And here's the reason why I say that. If you look at not just, the Chiefs winning, but look at some of the other playoff teams that are out there. Christian McCaffrey with the Niners. It was Miles Sanders with the Eagles last year. Now they got DeAndre Swift. He's kind of, at least in terms of pass catching ability, similar mold. Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook with the Vikings last year. I can go on and on with the list. As the game continues to be a passing league, your running backs out of the backfield as receivers are just as important, or if not more important in some situations, as the number one receiver on your team. There's a reason why the Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson where they did. It's not because he's a good running back and run in the inside outside zone. It's because you can also use him out of the backfield as a receiver or put him in the slot.
All right.
There's a reason why I think too that the whole thing with Debo a few years ago as a wide back, remember that was like the whole phrase he coined himself. Why it worked is because, okay, well, look, we all know what Debo can do when he's in the open field. So yeah, you can use him in the backfield and boom, he can still use his vision to make things happen as a running back. Then also you have a very big time receiver out of the backfield. So that is something that is so important while this game goes on, but then also at the same time, you see the importance of running backs in terms of in the running game too. While everybody in the box is getting lighter and lighter, right? Everyone's looking for these linebackers that can cover. They're a little bit lighter. They run around the field. The teams that can run that football at the end of the game when it matters, that is a huge bonus. And like I get it, Kansas City made it happen because with Pacheco, like you talked about. But Kansas City also has one of the best offensive lines in the league. So that played a part in it too. There's some of these teams like the Giants, like I know they have Andrew Thomas as a good left tackle. I'm not putting their line up there like that. But Saquon Barkley can make things happen on the ground even if the line isn't that good.
All right.
Joe Mixon can make that happen in Cincinnati even if the line isn't that good. Also, again, another good pass catcher. So it's actually one of those things where as this league gets more pass happy, sometimes you do need that big time running back to make things happen. So it's a two-way street of why, I actually think that the owners are looking at either they're looking at it the wrong way, or I would say the running backs are pointing or using their case or pointing to their case in the wrong direction.
I think Saquon has a better case than all of them because he does catch the ball. I feel like Jonathan Taylor, he probably can. He's just not using that way. They just rode that horse and like, look, we're gonna give you all these carries, and we're gonna ride you until your contract is up.
Pause.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to hit the button. You got the button, my guy. So it's
What's up, Steve?
it's unfortunate. Like, I mean, at this point, it's gotten worse because they're not even getting to a second contract at this point. Like at least Derrick Henry, McCaffrey, Kamara, even Dalvin Cook, they at least got to the second contract. Now they might be getting cut, traded, or whatever within that second contract. These kids now are not even making it to the second contract. And that's unfortunate. Like, that's a lot of draft capital to only spend 4 years with a guy. I mean, for Taylor, what this is year 3 for him, I think, and you're already in this situation. So I don't know what they can do, man. Like I don't know what running backs can really do at this point. And until the game changes, until it becomes more of a balanced league, or like I said, a run heavy team wins the Super Bowl relying on a stud running back. Pause. It's not changing. Like
And
it's not changing.
There's a reason why
So-
the Niners made that trade, right?
For CMC,
Absolutely.
yeah, because we had we had an injury prone running back on our team on our own in Eli, but I always felt it would be better if you had a guy, but having a guy that's versatile to pair him with a Debo and a Mitchell, it works. But again, owners will use that against them. They'll say it's a tandem. It's a tandem. Oh, he splits time with
1-2 punch.
Debo. Right.
Yep.
They won't give CMC, even with CMC might ball out this year, but it'll be like they'll use the versatility against the running backs. And then when it's time to pay CMC, I don't think he don't get paid for another year, I think.
No, he has some time.
Yeah. So they'll find a way to use it against them. That's what these owners do. Like they'll find a way to say, you're not as valuable as you think.
I can't wait to see what Indianapolis looks like this year, because obviously Jonathan Taylor, we'll see what happens if he plays or not. But yeah, oh, by the way, the player that's supposed to be right behind him, Zach Moss, he broke his arm, so he's going to be out for a while too. So good luck with that. Good luck with that with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. So so question is, Alvin Kamara, is he playing this year or is he still under?
Yeah, he
He's
playing.
been in camp, but I know he's supposed to meet with the commissioner soon.
That's what I thought too.
He playing though.
Okay.
We'll see how long that
Playing.
goes.
But I can promise you this: CMC ain't getting no other contract from 49ers. Not no big one.
He ain't getting no big contract from
No, he
anybody
won't.
else. This is his last deal. What
might.
he's on now.
Because he can
nothing
go.
crazy.
He can
About
just
last deal as current one
he
that
could
he's on.
modify and be a slot receiver. Like he can take less reps as a running back and go be a slot receiver.
Well, that's what he's going to have to
Kyle
do.
Even if he
let
does
that
that,
happen.
he might not
He's not
get.
getting a
Not
contract
letting
as
that
running back.
happen.
I mean, you might not get like bread, but he'll still
Yeah.
get another good contract.
Kyle's
That's
not
fair.
letting that happen.
What's considered good for a running back at this point?
But that's the thing but that's the point that I'm making right now, and this is the point that I'm saying. I wish a lot of these running backs will make too. He's not just a running back. Like Arthur Smith, head coach of the Falcons, he made this point too about Bijan Robinson in training camp. He said you can't refer to him as just a running back. He is a weapon. CMC is a weapon. Joe Mixon is a weapon. Like all these dudes who are phenomenal pass catchers. Saquon is a weapon. So, and I think
They're not
that's what
getting
you
paid.
have to go. Well, I know they're not getting paid, but again, I think part of it too is because again, they're still looking at themselves primarily as a running back. Like, okay, cool. You can go to the negotiating table as a receiver and get paid. You can go to the negotiating table as an offensive tackle and get paid, or a quarterback or a DN or whatever the case may be. So some tight ends in some cases. So
I
my
was about
thing
to
is,
say, yeah.
so what I'm saying is some.
Right. It's only a
But-
few that's getting paid.
So my thing is, if I'm one of these guys, especially some of these high quality guys that are also great pass catchers, honestly, I would say with your agents, maybe collaborate with other agents, make your own position group. Debo made wide back. Just make your position group of being a weapon,
You're going to have to.
of making a weapon.
I mean,
Call me
it sounds
weapon.
nice.
Call me
I
offensive
just don't know if
playmaker. Call me something
if that's
to pay
gonna
my-
happen.
pay my money.
I
dealing with
mean, I think
billionaires.
it's the easy. I think it's the one of the best ways forward, because again, the way that it's being looked at right now, if you just call them a running back, I think it's diminishing exactly what their talents are, and obviously their pay is diminishing what their talents are too. So start changing the narrative about what exactly you are and what your position is.
And just to address Steve-O's comment on the screen here, I don't think anybody on this panel thinks Daniel Jones is 4 times better than Barkley. However, his position that he plays might
Position
be 4
is
times more
better
valuable.
than
Yeah.
Barkley's.
Yeah,
Well, and I
so
think that's what he's alluding to in
Yeah.
that second part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's kind of what that's about. I mean, we all know Barkley is legit.
That guy.
So they just gotta just eat that franchise tag. What is it at 10 million now?
I think
Yeah.
he got-
that's
he
right
got
around
like
there,
that's
about
not,
10.
that's not nothing for no running back.
Right. But
We'll
in
give you
New
10
York.
years. We'll give you 10 million for a year.
for a
Absolutely.
season, oh, no doubt, no doubt.
I
Absolutely.
mean, there's only like what 2 or 3 running backs in the league that make more than that right now. What C-Mac, Kamara, and I mean even Saquon's. I think his 1-year deal just gets over that.
I mean,
Look
Bijan's
at
the
what the
highest paid
Raiders.
back going into the season.
Look at what the Raiders are doing with Josh Jacobs.
Absolutely.
They ain't
See,
even offer my man a contract.
the Raiders fucked
Exactly.
themselves because
Yeah.
I want to say they declined his 5th-year option before last season.
They did.
Yeah, and he
They did.
balled out. Yeah, I was like,
And
so
balled out. And he was like, now it's time to pay me
now it's time to really
because
pay
y'all
me.
didn't
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
pick up my 5th-year option. And they like, yeah, so no.
Yeah, because I thought they probably thought they was gonna move off of him, and here we are.
And then he came back with that phenomenal year, and they like, well, now the running back market is trash because they could have moved off of him last year.
Yep. So the Raiders are
It's a
going
cold
Raiders.
game.
The Raiders is going to Raiders.
Raiders going Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders are going Raiders. So
Hey, but my man Al Davis was showed at that boxing fight on Saturday, though. He was showed there. He was
Mark
in there.
was.
oh yeah,
If Al was there, that'd be a whole different story.
Al was there, it'd be a different story. Yeah. Mark, he be at them fights though. He be at them fights though.
For sure. All right, y'all. I got to roll out, man. I got an early flight to Phoenix.
Man,
All right,
safe
man.
travels.
Have a safe flight.
Stay cool if you can, because oh my goodness, they've been
Ain't no
having
staying
record.
cool there.
I know. I know. But yeah, man, that's those are the main things I wanted to hit on, unless anybody else has something else.
No, that's it. I gotta go to bed too
for the night. Right. I think we
All
good
right.
for the night.
Well, cool. You know, as Rod always says it best, tell a friend to tune on in. We'll be back on Wednesday. Hit that like button, subscribe, become a Patreon member. Everyone that's been in the chat, anyone who's been watching, we appreciate y'all. And like I said, the Sports
Shout out
Lab
to
and
the
Chill
Patreon
show.
members.
Oh, go ahead, Unc.
No, I said shout out to the Patreon members.
Absolutely. Shout out to them. And I said, everyone have a good night. If you can stay up, obviously U.S. women's national team playing tonight. It's literally a 3 a.m. start on the East Coast, midnight start out here in the Bay. I'll be watching it with Morgan.
I'll wait for you to
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll try to watch at least a little bit, but
okay, yeah.
no, it's a big game for them. They need this one. Go ahead and qualify. Try to get that number 1 spot out of the group. So no, we'll see what happens. But yeah, until then, everybody have a good one. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Peace.